everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you a haul. Well, I've shown you part of this haul which I did with Crafter's Companion, and it was the tri-blend marker pens that I purchased, and then I also got these brand new ink pads from Crafter's Companion, and I received a discount code which I use. So if you want to receive discount codes and promotional codes, I would recommend you go and sign over to their newsletter, and every so often they have really great deals and you'll be notified that way. So I'll put a link to all that below. So these ink pads are called the Harmony ink pads, which I have here, and I bought all the 36 ink pads, and they come in sets of 3. So this is how they come, and they're designed to go in family colors. So I'll show you this one, for example. So these are some purple shades. So this is the lightest one, and these are all water reactive dye ink pads, so you can do your distressing and blending with these. So I'm sorry if it's not focusing. So this is the palest of this shade. I'm just going to put this here. So this is the palest, then you get the medium one, which is there, and then the dark one. So you get a really nice blend with all the ink pads within each of the color families. So that, like I said, there's 3 per set. And this one here is the, what's this one called, the cool neutrals. So you've got the 3 shades, and I've got my little space at the bottom here. So all you do is just take your packaging off. And the nice thing about these ink pads, which I'll quickly show you, is they're really nice to hold in your hand. So they're very comfortable, and the other nice thing is they're all labelled with the colours that are on the actual packaging. So all the colours are labelled, so you don't have to go make your own colour swatches. It is already there, and they just slot in like this, and the colour is on the end here where you can see what each one is. And another thing I want to show you is, say for example you've got all your 3 colours out and you misplace, or you get confused which top goes on which of the ink pads. It also has the colour on the back of the pad as well, so you can't really put the wrong cap on. So they're really nice. The ink pads themselves, they're hard, so they're really nice. They're not squishy, they're really nice to stamp with, so they're nice and firm. And I will be showing you a few techniques with these ink pads. So let's get started in doing that. Okay, so I've picked out 3 colours here that I want to use, and then obviously they're not the same from the same colour family. So for example, if I was to use the same colour family and create an ombre effect with my blending, I could use these 3 and it would create a really nice blend. In fact, there's a video on YouTube that Sara Davies did creating an ombre effect background, which I'll put below as well, so you can go and check it out on how to do that. So that works really nice if you've got a background stamp or like a silhouette stamp, so that would work really nice. But what I want to use are 3 different colours and blend out a few backgrounds. And here I've just cut up some watercolour card, and this watercolour card is the Prism watercolour card from Hunky Dory. So I've cut out a few, and I just want to see how I get on, and I'm going to just take these off and start playing with them. So let's put them down. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is grab a blending tool, and I've already got some foams ready. So I keep one of these foams for each colour family excuse me, and I'm going to start with the lightest colour first. I'm going to go in with that green, and this is Spring Meadow, so it's like a really citrusy kind of a green. So I'm going to go in and pick up some ink, and I'm not going to be too neat about it because I want to create like a distressed background effect. So it goes on really nice, as you can see, very vibrant colours, and it just looks really nice on. So you can go in and use whatever shade you want to create the backgrounds that you like. Okay, so I'm just gonna play and see what I come up with. Then my next colour I'm going to go in with is this one, which is the Parakeet. It's a very vibrant teal. And again, you'll see the contrast in the colours, but again, it blends really nicely and smoothly. And then I'm going to go in with the purple, and I'll give you the name for this one. This is the Pale Fig. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that here. And you know, sometimes with dye inks you can get like a really muddy effect. With this you don't. You can see the really nice blend. I'm just going to add a bit more here. It's got creating a really, really nice blend here that you can see. And then I'm going to go in again with the green, yellowy green, and then I'm just going to bring a bit more colour around here. So I'm just creating a nice mushy coloured background. And then you can see the blend is really nice and smooth. So because it's water reactive, you can play around and distress with them. So I'm just going to move these to a side, and I've got a bottle of water here that I can just spritz on, and I'm just going to do it from a distance, just creating some large puddles. And then I'm going to let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to grab some kitchen towel, and then I'm going to pick some of this ink up. So I'm just going to give it another second or so, and I'm going to go in and pick it up. And you've seen this technique many times, I'm sure, but I just want to show you how beautiful that looks. And the longer you leave the water, the more of the distress look you're going to get. So that's one way of using your ink pads, and I absolutely love how smoothly those colours went in. And the other thing I absolutely love about this is that it didn't go, you know, that muddy brown colour when you overlap dye inks. So it worked really well, and a smooth blend. The next thing I want to do, let me just clean this. I'm going to keep these ink pads out here because I'm going to just carry on using them. Is you can create backgrounds as a direct method of inking. So I pulled out this stamp that I've not used, and it's a Stamperia stamp, and this one doesn't have a name. It's just a background stamp. If I find it, I'll put it below for you in the description box. And basically what I'm going to do is create a background. So I'm just going to mount it on a block like that. Put this to a side. So I'm going to go in with the lightest colour first, because I don't really want to contaminate my ink pad. So I'm going to go with the lightest first, then my tealy kind of a colour, put that on the top. And because they're firm ink pads, you can actually rub them on, which looks good as well. I'm going to catch the edges there. Then my purple shade. Just going to rub that on. And then all I'm going to do is create a background. So I'm just going to stamp it in the middle, just to give you an idea of how you can create these amazing backgrounds. And that's how that looks. That looks amazing. Now if you want to go a step further, you could actually take your water and spritz a bit on this and give it a distress kind of a look. So I'm just going to lightly just squirt a bit on the top, and you can see how it intensifies immediately. Maybe a tiny bit at the bottom here. There. So you can create these kind of backgrounds and just intensify and make it more distress. And if I drip it this way, you can see it gives it this arty look, but I'm still going to have my defined pattern at the top there. So that's another way of using these. You can just directly stamp. Then I think I'm going to just do one more just to show you. I've got my paper ready, my watercolor card, And then I've got this huge stamp sheet here from Hunky Dory. It's called For the Love of Stamps. And what I want to do is probably pick out this one here, this butterfly here. And I haven't used this stamp sheet yet, so it'll be fun to use. Comes with a die set as well, actually. So let me grab my stamping block again, and this time I'm gonna colour with this. So I'm gonna use a water brush. I might not use the water from it direct to the paper, but I want to see how it works. So this time I'm going to probably use two colours. Actually, I'm going to use all three again. So let's go in with this green shade in the middle, like that. And you can be quite directional with your stamp pad, and you can see it's really nice to hold. It's not a chunky ink pad. Then I'm going to go in with this tealy blue colour. So I'm doing a similar thing what I did with the Stamperia stamp, and just going to catch the edges there. So like I said, I've not used this stamp before, so it might not give me a clear impression, but I just want to show you something. So let's get this stamped on. So that's how that looks. Excuse me. And then what I'm going to do, because it's left an impression, I can go ahead and smush a bit of this ink on my glass mat, pick up some of this ink, and then I can just go in and fill in some of the bits that needs filling in. So I can just colour it in. Don't have to be too neat if you don't want to be. And to be honest, I could have done with getting a better impression, but I just wanted to show you how it looks. And another thing you can do is, if you didn't want to use it off here, you can just use your water brush, get some water on the end of your brush, and then just drag the colour out. So you can do it this way and merge the colours together. So this gives them more of a artsy kind of a look. You can merge all the colours together, and again that blends out quite well. And then I'm going to do the same on the top, just to give me a bit of definition. Like that. Just drag the colours around. And that looks really, really nice. So very artsy kind of a look. And then another thing you can do, I mean, they've also got the Harmony ink pads like this. These are the waterproof dye ink pads. So you can also go in and use, for example, just wipe this and show you. So you can use your inks. I said I was going to do 3, I'll do 4, and I'll just show you how this ink pad works as well. So this is in the same range that you can get, and these are great for watercolors, or if you want to add water. It's waterproof, so you don't get any smudges or smears when you use this, and it's fast drying as well. So it's at the moment one of my favorite black ink pads to go to, and it's called the waterproof dye ink pad. So non-smear with watercolor, and this is the Noir black. So let's just put this on here. Okay. So like I said, this is a brand new ink pad, that's why I'm not getting a clear impression. But if you just add a bit more of this, bit of this teal here, I can just go in with my water brush and start painting it direct from my glass mat, and that looks really pretty as well. So it depends on what kind of way you want to colour. If you want a more watercoloured look, you can do this, or if you want more artsy look, I would stamp with the pad and then pull the ink out. So it's up to you how you decide to do your colouring. And I'm just gonna finish this off, finish the wings off at least. And then maybe just at the tip of the wings, I'm gonna add this bright yellowy green colour. And obviously the more you dilute it, the lighter it will go. And if you want a darker colour in the same, you've got the family colours in the same pack, so you can go darker if you wanted. So that kind of look you can get as well when you stamp in black, and then you can colour in using your ink pads like this. So let's just give this a quick wipe, and I'll show you all the variations that I've just done. So blending and distressing, that's what you're going to create. Then creating backgrounds with just stamping on the colour onto the stamp and then stamping that on your paper. Then the artsy way of doing this, and then bleeding out your colour with your pen, and then stamping with your black ink pad, and then using your colours as a watercolour just to colour it in like that. Another thing you can do, probably, I'm going to try it out. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but actually no, I won't do it on this video. I'll do it on another video if I get a chance. Is you can probably use one of your stamps, give it a good clean, and use like a pad with just water, or just rub some water over it and stamp it, and that will lift some of that ink up. But I wouldn't do it with such a detailed detailed stamp. I would do it with more of a like a solid stamp, so you can stamp that with water and lift off some of your ink. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful. They are really great ink pads. It's one of my favorites at the moment to use. So I'm really glad I managed to get hold of these when I did. And if you're interested, I'll put a link below to where I got it from. I got it from Crafters Companion direct, so you can go ahead and check out the links below. And like I said, if you want to get discount codes, like I got a really good deal with my ink pads and my pens, join up to the newsletter and, you know, sign up, and you can get discount codes that way. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.